How you doing? Welcome to Fretz RV. My name is Pete Cozy. I'm the rental manager for the dealership. And today I'd like to do a operational video on one of our C-Class rentals that we actually rent out. It's the brand new 2021 Winnebago Spirit 25B. The overall length of it is 25 feet in length. It does not have any slide out, so it's real easy to maneuver and real easy to drive. And this is a great family unit. It'll sleep up to 8 people. Although I do have a lot of 2, 3, and 4 individuals that go with it. But if you'd like to take a look, I'm going to step over to the driver's side and we'll do an outside walk around on how to operate this while you're out on the road. Come on. So here we are on the driver's side, and first thing I'd like to show people are the actual mirrors. They do fold in, so a lot of RV parks at nighttime, they're dark. So you can fold these in out of the way so you can walk around the RV without bumping into it. The mirrors for 2021 are power mirrors on the top, manual on the bottom, you can adjust it, and they do have cameras built in. So when you turn the left turn signal, it'll show right down the whole side of the unit. It is equipped with a backup camera and obviously a right side turn signal camera also. Now when you open the door here, you'll see there's a key slot here. This is your Ford key. This is the key that opens the door and starts the unit. They do come with a remote control to remotely open the doors and a horn sound off so you can find the unit if it is amongst a bunch of other units. There are 2 other keys that come with the unit. One is a shiny chrome key and one is an oval key that says Bauer. The shiny chrome key is going to be any of the outdoor cabinets that lock. You'll be able to lock them with this key. And then the oval key is for the side entry door for the RV. There's 2 lock cylinders. One is the latch, I'll show you that in a moment, and one is a deadbolt. So you can put a deadbolt on to keep all your stuff inside. Nobody can get inside. So come on inside. Basically up here on the driver's, you got a power window, auto feature. This is your passenger window, locking and unlocking the doors. This is your left and right mirrors. You can remotely move them up and down and side to side. You do have an emergency brake here. You can release it there. A hood release here. The new 2021s are equipped with auto headlamps, so you can just leave it on the auto feature here. This is headlamps on all the time. This is parking lights and off. I leave them on auto, so they'll just come on when it gets dark out. There's a photo cell up top. This is minus and plus how dim or bright you want the dash lights to be. On the side of the steering wheel, we have a mechanism. New for 2021, now they telescope and they tilt. We have our turn signals here, left and right, high beams pulling it in. We also have your windshield wipers. So you have an intermittent, which is the first 5 settings are intermittents, constant low and constant high. Pushing in will give you the actual windshield washer fluid. So that's a multi-function switch. Turn signals, high beams, and wipers. Here's your park reverse indicator here, so you can put it in reverse, neutral, drive. And as you can see when I put it in reverse, we do have a backup camera, so you can see the whole back of the unit. If I was to turn the right turn signal on, the whole right side of the unit shows up, or left, the whole left side of the unit shows up. The unit has a battery boost button, so it has the ability for the batteries for the coach to talk to the batteries for the chassis. If the chassis battery ever goes dead, you will be able to start the unit by hitting the battery boost button on and turning the ignition on. It will allow the actual RV batteries to start the chassis for you, so you never have to get a jump. Up on the dash here, you'll notice we have our heater and air conditioner. We have how cool and how warm. We have all your different settings for air conditioning, normal, vent, floor, mix, which is defrost and floor, and then just defroster. 4-way hazards, if you're on the side of the road. The unit does have blind spot monitoring and traction control. So it also has brake mitigation. There's a little camera up here, so this has all the new features for the 2021. If you take notice, we have some charging ports here, 12 volt. We've got a USB. We've got another USB, another auxiliary port here. Passenger airbag, you do have the ability to shut it off if you have an animal or you have a smaller person, a child there, you can shut the airbag off there. In the glove box will be all the books for the unit, and I will have a registration card, insurance card, and one of my business cards in the glove box at all times. Brand new radio for 2021. If you hit the home page, you can scroll back and forth to all the different settings for your radio, all the different channels that you can program in there. You have different volume controls here. You have voice command, so you do have an actual speaker that you can set your phone up, which is done up on the steering wheel here. And if you take notice here on the dash, it's a brand new dash for 2021. So you have your oil, your coolant, your fuel, and your transmission. So that's all up there. So you can, and a lot of storage. Storage down the bottom, storage here. You have your visors. So you do have armrests, and you can maneuver these seats back and forth from the front and from the side. You can maneuver them, and you have your seatbelt adjustments up here on the left-hand side there. So you do have a lot of adjustments that you can make. New for 2020 are dual armrests now. That's a brand new feature. And that's pretty much it. Everything up front here, there's not really too much more as far as it's a normal E450 chassis. This is a heavier duty chassis for 2021 for towing vehicles or boats or trailers in the back. We do not allow that in our rental fleet because of our insurance policy. But if you do purchase this when it does come out of our fleet, which they're available at the end of each year, you'll have the E450 chassis for towing. We're going to go around the side and walk down the side and go over everything out there for you. So here we are going down the driver's side. We'll go each individual cabinet. The first one, you'll see there's an exhaust pipe down here. This is your generator. It's just a service door so we can change the oil and air filter on it. That's basically it, and it does lock. The second cabinet right here is going to be your propane fill, and this is where you're going to turn your propane on, which is to the left, and off, which is to the right. And there is a little arrow on here, and then typically we give it to you with a full tank of propane. We'll top it off when you come back free of charge. You'll just pay for whatever propane you actually use. It runs roughly about $2.50 per pound. If you use a pound or two, that's a lot actually. So it's very cheap propane. This cabinet is not lockable because it has to be serviced in the case of an accident that the firemen can get inside here and actually shut propane off. This third cabinet is your electrical cabinet, and you will take notice in here. This is your electrical 30-amp plug that you'll plug into the RV park. When not in use in the RV park, you will take this plug, and inside this cabinet is an actual electrical plug that you'll plug it into. So what happens is our generator produces power from the generator into this electrical plug, just like a wall socket in your house. And you will actually take, this is your RV, these are all the wires that go into the RV, and you'll plug it in. So if you do turn the generator on while you're driving down the road, because you want 110 power, maybe to pop some popcorn in the microwave, or you want to plug something in, or run the air conditioner because it's a really hot day and it's a little warm in the back, you'll need to plug it in and turn the generator on. I do give you an adapter plug. If you take a look at this, it looks like a household plug on this side, and it looks like a 30-amp RV plug. If you unplug this, you'll be able to plug this in and plug this into somebody's house. So you'll have current if you're on the side of somebody's house, or just have a regular plug. Now this is only a 15-amp plug. There's not enough power to go through this plug and fire up everything in the RV. You can do individual items, but if you don't have a 30-amp service at the place that you're plugged into, you might trip their circuit breaker, but you do have the ability to plug it in. So that'll always be in the cabin here. You have 25 foot of electrical cord here, and there is a little round hole. You can take this cap off and you can run the cord out of here, and you can shut and lock personal items in here also. It has its own lock. So you can run the cable out the bottom, or just run it out here if you're you're not putting anything else in there. This is for your heater inside. It's an exhaust. This is your hot water heater. So this is for us to service it at the end of the year, take the plug out. Here's what the plug looks like. And that's so we can service it. It has a pressure relief valve, and it'll come on automatically when you turn the heater on inside. There's nothing you have to do out here for any of this. As you can see, I have a 25 foot. You'll get a water line with this. It is a white hose with a blue line usually going through it sometimes. That's a fresh drinking hose. And basically you're gonna put it in the city fill. This is when you get to the RV park. The other end is going to go to the hose bin at the RV park. And when you'll turn the water on, this is a direct feed of water directly to the faucets, the toilet, and the shower. So you do not need to put any water pumps on. You do have a belly system on the other side, which I'm going to show you, which is basically you putting water in with this hose, and you can fill a tank and stop at a parking lot or a rest stop along the way, and you will be able to actually turn a pump on and flush the toilet, wash your hands. You could even take a shower. Also that comes with them are leveling blocks. I call these adult-sized Legos. They're big orange blocks. There's 12 of them in here, and you can stack them up like a ramp, or you can just stack them on top of each other. If you're at an RV spot and it's a little off, maybe it's a little left front low, you can put 1 or 2 under the tires and back right up or pull straight up onto them. But I give you some leveling blocks just to get you a little more level. Next, down the side is a cable in. So if there's cable television at the RV park, you'll come off of their cable television on the pole, you'll plug it into here, and all of your TVs inside will have cable television. This is your fuel, and it's regular gasoline, by the way, so this is where you'll stop. So anytime you go to a gas station, pumps will be on the driver's side, 3/4 of the way back. This is your waste distribution tanks. And basically you see it says black waste tank drain, gray waste tank drain. Black is the toilet water, gray is the soapy water that goes down the sink. So you have basically 4 tanks under here. You've got one for toilet, one for the water that goes down the drain. You've got a fresh water tank also on the other side over there, and then your fuel tank. When you take the cap off, you'll set it on the ground, and you'll be able to turn this, we put this on and turn it to the right. That is going to hook you up to your sewer. This is going to go into the ground, and they call it a waste distribution or dump site. So some of the RV parks have them right next to your RV, and some of them have them usually at the exit on the way out. But you'll be able to put this part of the hose down into the ground and lock it in, or you'll be able to put it into a large hole. Now you're connected from here to the ground. First thing you're going to do is you're going to pull this black valve. You'll notice there's a black valve and a gray one. Black first, you open it up, pull it out, it'll dump the actual black tank, the toilet tank. When it is done, you will shut it off, and then you will pull the gray one second. The reason we do the gray second is it's soapy water that went down in the sink. It'll wash out our sewer hose. Some people like to do a third, and I like to take the water out of here, and I like to rinse this hose with my fresh water that's coming out from the hose bib. And when you own one of these, you'll know why. You want to keep this clean and fresh smelling. So that's basically how to dump it. When you're done, you'll put your little cap back on. It's that easy. Now, I always tell people water is your friend. And what I mean by that is, let's say we have a tank. These are gravity fed, there's no pumps. So say we have a tank, and I've got this much solids and this much water. The likelihood of me cleaning that tank out is real good. If I have this much solid and this much water, it's not going to clean that tank out. So basically you want, every time you go to the bathroom, if you go number 2, you're going to want at least a bowl, if not 2 bowls of water. And more water is going to actually help it flush out a little bit better. A lot of times if your gray tank, it just has a little bit in it, I'll run the sink for a little while and fill it up because it's going to flush everything out. That's just the way that I do it. It seems to work for me, and everything seems to stay nice and clean, all my tanks. On the back here, we have an extra feature for 2021. It's called a black tank flush. You have the ability to put your water hose and turn on the hose bib, and you can pump water into here. It is a built-in sprinkler system for the black tank. So when you own one of these, typically the last time you're going to dump on the way back from your vacation at your last RV park, you'll put the hose in there and turn it on. It is a built-in dishwasher, and that's new for these units. And it will actually, you open your black tank valve, and it will actually rinse that tank real good, clean the sensors and everything. So this is new for 2021. Come on around the back. On the spirits, you've got an exterior door in the back, not just on the side. So you can see it's a very large storage area. You can go straight through. You do have a ladder back here, and you are able to go on the roof on the rentals. So what I mean by that is, if you feel as though something has fallen on the roof, maybe a branch or something, we don't want to go down the turnpike and have it blow off and go into somebody's car. You are allowed to go up here. I typically go up and just peek my head over the top, make sure everything's clear up there. So you can clear that off. These doors are held up by these little mechanisms here. It's just a little catch. When you go up, put it, and it'll hold the door up for you. And you can lock these. They are lockable, by the way. Come on around the other side. Here's your other door. Very large. Your spare tires in here. You have a very large cabinet in here. And again, the same latch for this door. Opens and closes the door. Now on this side, you're going to see another hose fill. This is tank fill. This is your belly tank or fresh water tank. You have the ability to put water into this tank and it stays underneath the vehicle. And when you're at a rest stop or you just want to pull over somewhere and you want to use the facilities, you want to flush the toilet, you want to wash your hands, you have the ability to turn a water pump on inside. It'll pump water out of this tank to the sink, to the toilet and the shower. So this is when you're on the road and you're not at an RV park with water coming in from the township. So that's basically where you fill it from. There is, on the dashboard inside, I'll show you, an indicator that you can push a button and it will tell you how much is in the tanks. How much is in the black tank, the gray tank, and the fresh water tank. This is cable television. If you're plugged into cable on that side, you have the ability to mount a TV on the side or mount it on a table. You'll have cable, 2 110 power outlets. You can plug in a blender or television out here. That's the back of your refrigerator. There's really not much going on there. That's so we can service it. This is your door. Remember I told you 2 latches on the door. This is the latch. This is the deadbolt. This one key, the oval Bauer key, will work both. You'll be able to lock and unlock this. You'll be able to actually turn this and deadbolt. You'll see the deadbolt come out. So when you're leaving the RV or even at nighttime, you have the ability right here to deadbolt it yourself from the inside. Now, they all have screen doors. You can basically pull this over so no bugs go in and out. Please, when the screen door is attached to the main door, please do not try and close the main door with this. You'll break the handle. It happens quite often. You grab it from behind here, and here's your latch to go out. That's pretty much how to operate the door. When you enter an RV, they'll always have a fire extinguisher, 2 smoke detectors because of the size of this, one in the back and one in the front. And on the beneath the kitchen is an LP and carbon monoxide detector. So basically what happens with that is if there's any carbon monoxide or LP gas being leaked inside, it'll go off. I will forewarn you, in aerosol cans, mainly like hairspray, if you fire that off and you're standing in the kitchen, that aerosol can may produce a chemical that will make the LP detector go off. So just, if you don't, LP has a smell to it, if you don't smell anything, most likely if someone's just done using hairspray or something like that, it'll set it off. But don't be alarmed. Come on inside. I'll show you a couple things inside here. So when you enter the RV, you're going to notice there are 3 switches here. One says Coach BAT, meaning batteries, which are under this step. You'll turn this on, and basically that gives you battery power, 12-volt power in the actual unit. You'll probably leave that on the entire trip. And you'll notice over here there's 2 light switches. One is to control the outdoor LED lights so you can see outside. And the other one is to control, there's 4 lights running down the hallway in here. And it's so you don't stub your toe when you come in dark at night. You will notice under all the cabinets, there's probably another 12 to 15 lights in this unit. But basically those are just put on the main lights for you so you don't stub your toe. So you have exterior lights, and then you've got those lights. These are your basically your main lights on the inside of the unit. Awnings in and out, and awning light. The awning light in this unit, when you put the awning out, you'll basically see at the very end when the awning's out, there's a strip of LEDs which lights it up real nice for you. So you're just going to push the actual button out. You'll see the awning starting to come out here. When it gets to the very end, a cloth of about 12 to 18 inches will come down to block the sun. You'll know you're all the way out. When you're done with it, you're going to hit in, and it will pull itself back in. Now, awning lights that's your actual awning light when it's out all the way. So that's basically how you use the awning. It is gravity fed. The motor actually just pulls it in. So when you release it, it just works its way out slowly. It starts high and works its way low. And that's basically it. When you roll it in, it'll come in all the way by itself and stop all by itself. Now let's go inside and we'll go over a couple more items here for you. So now we're inside the unit. We're going to start from the refrigerator and work our way around. First thing you're going to notice, that little green light down here, that's the LP and carbon monoxide detector. So that's where you'll see if something goes off. You'll hear it coming from here. This is an electrical box. Just like a house, you've got circuit breakers. So you can see everything's listed here, and here's all the circuit breakers. You have the main, you have receptacles, microwave, refrigerator. If for some reason you're plugged in and you're like, hey, Pete told me when I'm plugged in, my microwave should be on or my refrigerator, and they're not, first thing you always check is your circuit breaker. When an RV park goes down, maybe from a bad storm and you lose electricity, if they're trying to fire up 500 or 1,000 sites all at once, you'll get a burst of electrical current sometimes, and it will be enough to trip the circuit breaker to save the wiring systems in these units. So always check this first here. Refrigerator's pretty easy. They always lock, so you have to push something to open them. Push down on the lever here. Here's your refrigerator. It's a large refrigerator, and here is your freezer. You will push the main button here, and you'll see it'll light up. It's green, it's on. The mode that I am at is automatic. What automatic means is it's looking for the best source. Going down the road, you must have the propane on. That's what that little indicator, it's a flame, it's telling you it is being fired and operated on propane. You can actually hit the mode button a second time. It'll go to electricity, meaning I'm plugged in. You can go a third time, it'll be just propane. I like the automatic, which is the first one that comes up. Automatic will automatically look for the best source. It'll first look for electricity. If it is not available, it'll look for propane. If it's not available, it'll light up red. Now our propane is off right now, so this may light up red in a minute or two, just to say, hey, I got nothing. I don't have 110, and I don't have propane. When you hit this, this is your temperature. We are number 5, which is the coldest temperature. And you can adjust it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll be the coldest, that'll be the warmest. These, there you go. See, there's nothing in it, so it's telling me you got to do something. Plug me in or put propane through the system. To shut it off, you just hit this button and hold it, and it will go off all by itself. That's how you operate it. You got plenty of storage, more lights in the bedroom, another smoke detector, a vent to let hot air out, television. There's 3 remotes in here. There's one for the front television, there's one for the DVD, and there's one for the back television. A lot of storage, more lights. You've got USB and 12-volt plugs all over in this unit, so you can plug stuff in and charge stuff. Nice foam mattress, no more spring mattresses. They're very comfortable. Here's your restroom. As you can see, it's a 3-piece. We do have a toilet, a sink, a shower, and a light switch. Here in the corner, you're going to see there's a big storage closet here. You can put your toiletries and stuff. Flushing the toilet, if you just push this lever down just a little bit, it will just emit water. It will not open the valve all the way, and you can actually fill it up with water. Pushing it down hard all the way to the floor will allow the valve to open up, and it will flush itself. More storage here, toilet paper holder. GFI, in case any water splashes here, it'll set that. You can reset that GFI, God forbid, if water does splash in there. So the electricity will shut off. New is a solid door. So basically it's not a curtain that falls out anymore. In your hot and cold water, you do have a skylight for tall people, and you do have a little button here that is a steam fan. You can open this up and it will let the hot air out. It'll pull it out. So if you're taking a shower, the steam's not going to go over the top of the door and heat up inside the cabin. So you can run that while you're actually taking a shower. And your light switch is right here. Come on out here, lots more storage here. We've got a wardrobe closet here. Large wardrobe, some more storage. This is your dash panel here. So basically, this is your control center to see what's going on with the RV. So the first thing we'll start with is there's a empty, 1/3, 2/3, and full indicator. So this will tell you there's BATT batteries. How charged up are my batteries? Have I let them go down? Do I have to charge them? You hit this button, BATT, it tells you how much is it, how they're charged. They're fully charged now. By the way, it's very, very difficult to run those batteries down. When you're driving this unit, down the road, it's charging the batteries. When you turn the generator on and you have that plug plugged in it that I showed you, you're charging the batteries. So when you are plugged into an electrical source at an RV park, you're charging the batteries. Everything charges them. So the likelihood of them going down is really nil. LP gas, liquid propane. This is how much. So it'll tell you how much propane is in that tank when it's time to fill. Black tank is empty. That's how much is in the toilet tank before you have to dump. I would like that to be at least 2/3, if not full. The more in it, the more it'll flush itself out. And the last one is gray tank. That's how much has gone down into the sinks, into the gray tank. So you've got multiple tanks here. Hot water heater is pretty cut and dry. You turn it on. You'll see the red light. It will now ignite it. It'll start heating that 6 gallons of water for you. It takes about 15 minutes. So if you cook breakfast, go out and eat breakfast. By the time you come in, you'll have hot water to do the dishes and grab a shower. When you're done using, I recommend shutting it down so you're not wasting propane. It's continually heating water. By the way, the cooktop and the hot water heater uses very little. But when you run the actual heater, it's a 25,000 BTU heater. It does use more propane. So in the cooler months, you may use more propane on your trip than in the summer months. You'll probably use hardly any at all. Water pump. Basically what this is when I put water in the belly tank, like I showed you, you turn this on, you'll hear it pumping. You'll be able to actually pump water through the system. You will have fresh water from the belly tank. You'll have water here, at your shower, at your other sink, and able to flush the toilet. So this is when you're on the road, you want to pull over and use the facilities. You'll have fresh water on board. I don't recommend filling that tank. It's 50 gallons. It weighs about 400 pounds. It's a lot of extra weight. But depending on your trip and when you're going to be able to stop and get water again is how much we'll put in. I usually put in about 10 to 12 gallons for you for your initial trip, and then you can add extra. If you go to the actual top of this, you're going to see generators starting and stopping it. And there's a time, an hour clock. We charge, you get an hour a day free with the rentals, and we charge for every hour you used after that, or you have an unlimited. If you're going to a place that does not have a plug-in, you're going to be using the generator for power, for the air conditioner and microwave. There's $20 a day, you get unlimited generator use, which is a great bargain, actually, instead of paying whatever it might be, $4 or $5 an hour. But when you turn the generator on, you'll hit start. Did you hear a beep? First thing you look for when you turn the generator on is your microwave. It's on. That's telling you you've got 110 in here. So now you've got enough power to run this microwave. You got enough power to run the air conditioner, which you can turn off and on here. And you've got all your outlets are hot. Everything's hot and ready to go. That's your telltale sign that you've got 110. So basically, after you, and it will only operate, by the way, when you plug it into that electrical box like I showed you. So when you leave the RV park, make sure you plug it back into that electrical box because it's producing current out of the generator into the box, out of the box through that big fat cord into here. When you're done using it, hit stop. Next is going to be your thermostat. And you basically have a mode button here. If you look, it says off here and a little round circle. If I hit it once, it's going to go to fan on, and you can adjust it. Number 2, snowflake. That's your air conditioner, and you can adjust the temperature up and down. Third mode is a picture of a furnace. It says furnace, temperature up and down. That's your heat. It just kicked on and then off. So the mode is off, fan, air conditioning, heat, off. You can actually adjust the temperature here, and you can turn the fan off and on right there. You have holding tank heaters. This is for somebody who owns this that's going in the later fall, early spring. The holding tanks have blankets with electrical grids going through them. You can turn this on and heat the tanks in case it may get close to freezing at nighttime. So that's basically it. This does have what they call an inverter control. Inverter, you turn it on. What it'll do is it'll allow you to operate a couple of items in here that usually need 110 without turning the generator on. It'll run from the battery through the inverter, which is under the sofa, and it will actually allow some outlets and televisions to work off of battery power, not generator. And why that is because there's a quiet time at a lot of RV parks where they're going to make you shut the actual generator down. So you'll be able to run on battery power for a little while and watch TV, put some lights on, and plug some stuff into outlets in here. You won't probably have to use that very much. So that's basically all your different components here. You will notice that the heater is still running, even though this is off. It'll run for 90 seconds to 2 minutes sometimes. So just so you know, don't be alarmed. Over here we have a microwave. You can actually microwave stuff as long as you've got power coming in or you have your generator on, one or the other. It will not run on batteries, as it will not at your house. Neither will the air conditioner. Will not run on batteries. We have a fan. We have a little light here. This is for serving, but when you're ready to cook, you'll fold it up. Fold it up. Now you've got 3 burners. And to light it, you're going to turn your little slot to light. It says light right here. And you will be able to turn this and it will ignite for you. Right now, we don't have the propane on, but it will. This one will do that burner. This one will do that burner. This one will do that one. This is the pilot, and you can light it in the oven, so you can bake in here. So that's basically how you actually light these. Please leave this up while this is hot. So if you just finished cooking, let it sit for a few minutes. This is not tempered glass, so you can set this down and now serve off of it. But just don't put it down when it's red hot. If you look over here, we got tons more lighting. Up here, more storage. Here's all your remotes. So the little remote is the DVD player. The large remote is the TV in the front, and the other large remote is the TV in the bedroom. So you got 3 remotes. You've got all your books. When you own this is what comes with it. This is all of the owner's manuals for every appliance and all the equipment in here. It's got the warranty cards, the 800 numbers, part numbers. That's everything that's in there. I'll have the Ford books for the chassis in the glove box, so they'll be there. You also have a curtain, and you'll notice it's got Velcro that runs around the edge of this curtain, and there's Velcro up under here. You can actually curtain this off in the front and for privacy. So it won't let sun in if you're sleeping here, or if you'd like to get dressed here, you can have privacy. You also have every window here has its own shade. And all windows in this unit are able to be opened up. So you'll see, there you go. See, they're screened and they do lock. So all the windows have screens, even up top in the upper bunk. This is a sleeping area. This is a sofa during the day. And if you pull this little cloth, you'll be able to jackknife this out of the bed. Also, your table, there's a little lever under here, and if you pull the lever to the front of the unit, you can push this table down. It'll actually go up and under these cushions here, and it will fall into that area. This becomes your box spring. These pillows in the back actually will become your mattress. So you have the ability to make this into a big, large bed. When you're done, just so this doesn't move up and down while you're eating, you'll take the lever and you'll flip the lever underneath to the back of the unit. You'll see it locks it down. So that's basically your sleeping area. There are seat belts, by the way, just so you know. All RVs of this size have 6 seat belts. 2 at the front seats, 2 here at the dinette, and 2 that are back behind here. So you've got 2 people can be belted here, 2 here, 2 there. You can put people here, but they cannot be belted. So 6 seat belts. That's basically it. I'm going to have Nikki switch around, and we're going to do a little demo of the upper bunk, which is an RV king bed. These are more like double beds here. This is what they call an RV king bed. It's a very large bed. So during the day when we're going to be going in and out of the driving area, you can put this pillow up top here, but at nighttime you'll be able to pull it back, push it into place. So once you pull this forward, you have a ladder up here, and you'll see there's 2 little hooks on it, and the little hooks will go right into here. You'll be able to climb up and down there. I do ask that when you are on the road, that you take this ladder. This cushion is 3 inches shorter than this cushion, so the ladder will fall behind there, so it won't pop out. So I ask you that you put it up here and just let it fall down behind there, and you'll see it'll go down behind there and lock in. Here's your other TV. There is a pull handle. Pull down on it. You'll be able to pull this TV straight out. Here's your television. Let me get this out of the way. It's way easier to operate with this out of the way. So this is your other TV. There's your DVD Blu-ray player. And again, your remotes are up top here. Lots more lights, more windows. And you do have another shade. That's basically it. As you can see up top, we've got 110. We've got cigarette lighter 12 volts and USB. So you have charging all over throughout this whole unit here. Air conditioning is being blown from the ceiling. It has its own vents. There's a bunch of vents here, and the heat is blown from the floor out. So heat will come out and rise. Air conditioning will come from the roof and come down. This is the filtration system, so this is what we have to clean from time to time. And that's all that basically is. The AC unit is above this on the roof. More storage above the door. So that's the unit in a nutshell. It's pretty much, it's a lot to take in, but we'll go over it again. I ask that you watch this maybe a few times before you come pick up. And then I'm going to try and do a mimicking video starting at the drivers and work my way around when you come to pick it up. And we'll go over the points that maybe you didn't take in all the way. And we'll make sure that you're totally ready to go out RVing so you can enjoy this instead of trying to figure it out the whole time. A lot of my clients do rent a second and third time and they get real good at it then. So that's basically it. Again, my name's Pete Cozy. I'm the rental manager here at Fretz RV. If you want to contact me on the website, my personal cell number, my business number with my extension, and my email. But it's petecozy@fretzrv.com. 267-261-6799 is my cell number. And if you just call down to my office, it's 215-723-3121, extension 106. I don't hang out at my desk a lot. I'm working on these and demoing these all day long, keeping them ready for everybody to come and rent, but I will contact you back if you do leave me a message, and we'll get you a quote. First-time renters, by the way, special discounts. There's a lot of good things going on in the rental world. It's very busy, so give me a call as soon as you can. Let's get that reservation and we'll get you a quote right away. Thanks for your time. Enjoy.